Om Shanti. Avyak Bapdada, 12th of June 2022. Original date 3rd of April 1991. Title: Move away from all limitations and become one who has unlimited disinterest. Today, all the children have reached their corporeal sweet home of Madhuban to celebrate a meeting once again after a cycle. Madhuban is the sweet home of the corporeal world, where spiritual melas of the father and the children take place. This is a mela, brackets gathering, for a meeting. So, all of you children have come into this gathering for the meeting. These gatherings for meetings between the father and the children only take place at the confluence age, and they only take place in Madhuban. This is why all of you have come running here and reached Madhuban. Madhuban enables you to have a meeting with Bapdada in the corporeal form. Along with that, by your having easy remembrance, it enables you to have an avyakt meeting, because the land of Madhuban has received the blessing of giving you the experience of a spiritual meeting and a meeting in the corporeal form. Because it is the land that has received this blessing, you easily have the experience of a meeting. At no other place does a meeting between the ocean of knowledge and the rivers of knowledge take place. This is the only place for a meeting between the ocean and the rivers. Do you believe that you have come to such a great land that has received blessings? In this year of tapasya, it is especially the children who are celebrating the meeting for the first time in this cycle who are given a golden chance. How lucky you are! At the beginning of the year of tapasya, the new children have received extra power. This extra power that has been given at the beginning will become cooperative in the future to enable you to move forward. This is why the drama has also cooperated with the new children to enable them to move forward. Therefore, they will not be able to complain and say, "We came later." No. The year of tapasya has also been given a blessing. You have received the right and the chance to step on the land of blessings in the year of tapasya. This extra fortune is not small. You new children have especially received 3 blessings: of the year of tapasya, of the land of Madhuban, and of your efforts. So, how lucky you are! Keep the intoxication of this imperishable fortune with you. Let this intoxication not just be with you while you're here, but the Father is imperishable. You elevated souls are imperishable, and so your fortune is also imperishable. Keep the imperishable fortune with you eternally. It is just a matter of paying attention to it in an easy way, not attention with tension. let there be attention easily. And what is difficult? You have recognized my Baba, and you have also accepted him. You know him, you have accepted him, you have experienced him, and you have attained a right. So, what is difficult? Simply continue to experience. Only the one is my Baba. This entire knowledge, from the beginning through the middle to the end, is merged in the word Baba. Because Baba is the seed. The whole tree is merged in the seed, is it not? It is possible to forget the expansion, but it is not difficult to remember the essence in the word Baba. It is always easy, is it not? It is not sometimes difficult and sometimes easy. Is Baba always yours, or is he yours only sometimes? Since Baba is always yours, remembrance should also always be easy. It is not a difficult thing. God said, "You are mine," and you said, "You are mine." So, then, what is difficult? This is why new children move ahead even more. Even now, there is still a chance for you to move forward. As yet, the bugles for the final completion have not been blown. Therefore, fly and continue to make others fly. The way to do this is to stop waste. Continue to accumulate in your savings account, because for 63 births you have not been saving, but you have been wasting. All your accounts have diminished by your wasting them. You wasted the treasure of breath. You wasted the treasure of thought. You also wasted the treasure of time, the treasure of virtues, the treasure of powers, and you also wasted the treasure of knowledge. So many accounts have become empty. You now have to accumulate in all these accounts. The time to accumulate them is now. And you are also being shown by the Father the easy method to accumulate them. Perishable treasures run out and decrease as you spend them, whereas the more you use all of these treasures for yourself and others with a pure attitude, the more they will increase and accumulate. Here, using the treasures is the way to accumulate them. There, keeping them is the way to accumulate them. Here, using them is the way to accumulate them. And so, there is a difference. Use your time for an auspicious task for yourself or for others, and it will continue to increase. Use knowledge. Similarly, the more you use virtues and powers, the more they will increase. Don't think like other people do. They keep everything in a locker and think that they have accumulated a lot. Similarly, you would also think that you have a lot of knowledge in your intellect, that you also have a lot of virtues and powers. Do not keep these locked up. Use them. Do you understand the method to use for accumulation? It is to make use of them. Use them for yourself, otherwise you will lose them. Some children say that they have all the treasures merged in them. However, what is the sign of these being merged in you? To have them merged in you means you have accumulated them. The sign of this is that they are useful for you yourself and for others at the times of need. If they are not being used, but you still say that you have accumulated a lot, then that is not an accurate way of accumulating them. Therefore, if the method you use is not accurate, you will not be able to achieve the result of becoming perfect on time. You will be deceived. You will not be successful. Use the virtues and the powers, and they will continue to increase. So, use the method of saving and the method of accumulating. Then, the account of waste will automatically be transformed and be used in a worthwhile way. On the path of devotion, they have a system of donating physical wealth and using it in a worthwhile way, according to how much they have. Therefore, it continues to increase. Even in devotion, in order to use everything in a worthwhile way, they increase their zeal and enthusiasm. So, in the year of tapasya, do not just check how much you have wasted. To have wasted something is a different matter, but also check how much you have used in a worthwhile way. All the treasures you were told about, and also the virtues, are gifts from the Father. This is my virtue. This is my power. Do not make this mistake, even in your dreams. These are gifts from the Father, gifts from God. To consider gifts from God to be yours is a great sin. Many children often think and speak in ordinary language. This virtue of mine is not being used, or I have this power, my intellect is very good, but it is not being used. Where did mine come from? To say mine is to make it dirty. Even in devotion, they have continued to give this teaching for 63 births. Don't say mine, say yours. Nevertheless, you didn't accept it in that way. On the path of knowledge as well, to say yours, but to consider it to be mine, is cheating, and it will not work here. Therefore, to consider a holy prasad from God to be yours means to be arrogant and disrespectful. Don't ever forget the word Baba, Baba. Baba has given power. Baba has given the intellect. It is Baba's task. It is Baba's centre. Everything belongs to Baba. Don't think, this is my centre. I created the centre, so I have a right to it. Where did the word mine come from? Is it yours? Have you carefully kept a bundle aside? Many children show such intoxication. I have had the building constructed for the centre, so I have a right to it. However, whose centre did you construct? It is Baba's centre, is it not? If you have surrendered it to Baba, how can it be yours? How can they be mine? When your intellect changes, you say, this is mine. By saying mine, mine, you dirtied it. Do you want to become dirty again? Do you remember the first promise you made to the Father for your Brahmin life when you became a Brahmin? Have the new ones made a promise, or only the old ones? You new ones who have now come have also come as old ones, have you not? You have come after completing the form about having faith in the intellect, have you not? So, everyone's first promise was mind, body, intellect, and wealth are yours. Did all of you make this promise? If you're going to make a promise now, raise your hands. Those who think, something has to be kept aside for the future. How can we give everything to the Father? We have to keep something aside. Those who think this is a sensible thing to do, raise your hands. Have you kept something aside? Be careful. Afterwards, do not say, who saw us anyway? Who's going to see me in such a crowd? Baba has a very clear TV. You cannot be hidden from that. Therefore, if you want to keep a little aside after careful consideration, then, by all means, keep it. What do the Pandavas think? Should you keep a little aside? Think about it very carefully. Those who wish to keep a little aside, raise your hands now. You will be saved. Otherwise, later you will be shown this time, this gathering, and you're nodding. Never let there be any consciousness of mine. When you say Bap, brackets father, Sin, brackets Pap, finishes. When you do not say Bap, Sin, brackets Pap, is committed. When you become influenced by sin, your intellect doesn't work. No matter how much someone tries to explain to you, you say, no, this is right. This has to happen. This has to be done. Even the Father feels mercy because you are under the influence of sin at that time. When the Father is forgotten, sin is committed. Because you are under the influence of sin, you do not understand what you are doing and saying. Constantly stay conscious with knowledge. Don't come under the force of any sin. In between, this wave of Maya comes in. You new ones need to keep yourselves safe from this. Don't be caught up in any consciousness of mine. When souls get a little older, they have a lot of Maya with the consciousness of mine, my ideas. However, since even the intellect is not yours, where did your idea come from? So, do you understand what the way to accumulate is? Use it for a task. Use it in a worthwhile way. Use your godly sanskars in a worthwhile way, and the sanskars of waste will go away. When you don't use your godly sanskars for a task, they simply remain in your locker, and the old sanskars continue to work. Many have the habit of keeping everything in a bank or in their cupboards. They have many very beautiful clothes, money and things, and yet they will only use the old things. They love their old things, and so the things in the cupboard simply remain in the cupboard, and they go out using just the old things. Do not continue to use your old sanskars and let the godly sanskars simply remain in the locker of your intellect. Use them for a task. Use them in a worthwhile way. So, keep a chart of how much you used everything in a worthwhile way. To use something in a worthwhile way means to use it and increase it. Use everything in a worthwhile way with your mind, with your words, in relationships and with contacts, with actions, with your elevated company, and with your extremely powerful attitude. Do not just think, my attitude is always very good. So, how much of it was used in a worthwhile way? My sanskars are those of peace anyway. So, how much were they put to use in a worthwhile way? Did you use them? By adopting the method of using them for a task, you will easily experience the success of becoming perfect. To use something in a worthwhile way is the key to success. Do you understand what you have to do? Do not be happy with just yourself. I am very good and virtuous. I can give very good lectures. I am a very good Jnani soul, and my yoga is very good. So, if it is that good, then use it. Use it in a worthwhile way. Use it for a task and increase it. It will continue to increase without any effort, and you will then use it in comfort for 21 births. You will not have to make any effort there. This is an unlimited gathering. Brackets. Om Shanti Bhavan was fully packed, and therefore some people had to sit in the meditation hall and history hall. The hall was too small. There is the praise of your memorial mentioned in the scriptures. First, water was put into a glass. Then it was put into a pot. Then into a pond. Then from the pond it flowed into the river. Where did it finally go? Into the ocean. So, this gathering first took place in the history hall, then in the meditation hall, and it is now taking place in Om Shanti Bhavan. Now, where is it going to take place? However, this does not mean that you cannot experience an avyakt meeting without a corporeal meeting. The practice of the avyakt meeting has to increase according to the time, and you do have to increase it. The daddies became merciful and had special mercy for the new ones. However, increase the experience of the avyakt. That will be useful to you at the right time. Look, Bap Dada is still now playing the part of the corporeal meeting for the new children. But until when will this continue? So, are all of you happy and content? Are you content with staying outside too? This too is part of the drama. Since you say that the whole of Abu will belong to you, how is this going to happen? So, first of all, at least place your feet there. Then, the places that are called dharamshalas will all become yours. Look, even in the foreign lands, it has already begun to happen. The churches are not used so much, and so they have offered them to the Brahma Kumaris to use. So, people offer those big places they have but are not able to run to you to use. So, the feet of the Brahmins are being placed in every place. There is significance in this too. Therefore, Brahmins play a part of the drama in setting their feet there. So, what will you do when the whole of Abu becomes yours? They themselves will offer it to you, saying, "You look after it." They will say, "Look after us and also look after the ashrams." Therefore, whatever part you receive at any time, play that part with happiness. Acha. To the Chatrak souls everywhere who celebrate a meeting and imbibe the jewels of knowledge. To the elevated souls who celebrate a meeting in the subtle form and the corporeal form. To the souls who use all the treasures in a worthwhile way and become embodiments of success. To the souls who have unlimited disinterest and who constantly have the consciousness of my Baba and have no trace of any limited consciousness of mine. To the children who constantly attain the success of becoming complete by using the accurate method. Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Bapdada speaking to daddies. There should always be new scenes, should there not? This was also a new scene in the drama, and it was repeated. Did you ever think that this hall would also become small? You wouldn't like to have the same scene all the time. You would like to see a new scene sometimes. This is also spiritual splendour, is it not? The thought of all of these souls had to be fulfilled, and this is why this scene took place. You were given permission from here. You may come. So, what can one do? Now, the new ones will increase, and the older ones are now old. You came with enthusiasm, and so you set yourself accordingly, and that was good. It has to be big. It is not going to become any smaller. Since there is the title of being a world benefactor, compared to the world, this is nothing. There is going to be expansion, and the method will be new also. There are going to be different methods. Now, the attitude will become powerful. When your attitude becomes powerful by having tapasya, then, through your attitude, the attitudes of souls will automatically change. Acha. All of you don't get tired doing service, do you? You come here with pleasure. There is always pleasure. Acha. Blessing. May you accumulate your stock of blessings by performing elevated karma and become a living image who grants visions. Take blessings and give blessings in whatever actions you perform. By performing elevated actions, you automatically receive everyone's blessings. It emerges from everyone's lips. This one is very good. Wa. Your actions become a memorial. No matter what work you do, take happiness and give happiness. Take blessings and give blessings. Because you take and give blessings at the confluence age, people will continue to take blessings from your non-living images, and you will become living images who grant visions at the present time too. Slogan: constantly maintain zeal and enthusiasm, and laziness will finish. Om Shanti.